Hello and welcome to a new episode, and let me tell you something. Today we are taking a look at the Super Console X Stick, TV stick and game stick, and it is by KINHANK or something. I don't know, whatever funny name that these, the company in China decided to come up with. I'm sure it's probably Chinese. However, this is a retro game console built in with 4K output, supposedly. It's a plug and play, and came with two controllers. They're kind of PlayStation PS3 style controllers. It apparently has, this version, the 256 gig, apparently has about 50,000 plus games. So anyway, it says it smoothly runs. 80 plus emulators, probably not everything. It's got PSP, PS1, N64, Dreamcast, Neo Geo, Sega, MAME, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy, Mega Drive, Super Famicom, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis. You can fill in the blanks there when it comes to regions. But anyway, we're gonna take a look at what's inside the box here. So it says right here, SD card. It's got an SD card, so you can add your own games if you want. USBs 1 and 2. It's got an HDMI. It is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth compatible. And that is just the back of the box. And now we are going to take a look at what's inside. Oh, they did send separately this adapter. So wherever you're living, should be able to work. Okay, anyway. So now we're going to take a look what's inside the box. Well, this is if you're happy or unhappy, you can let them know. So that's nice. All right, so this tiny little stick, that's it. This is it. It's about the size of your average Fire TV stick from Amazon. It's nice and sturdy. It's nice and sturdy. Anyway, it's got a plastic cover. We're going to go ahead and peel that right off of there, that plastic cover, and we'll put that down here for now. And then we've got, looks like an HDMI adapter of some sort. And I'm guessing it's because you try plugging this into your TV, and it's probably not going to fit very well. So you got this like dongle here. So basically you got this dongle here, and just go ahead and put that in there, and then this is going to go on the back of your TV. Take the cap off. Okay, so that's pretty much good to go. And then we've got, like I said, the PlayStation style controllers. These are very, very cheap. It's very light. Nothing's making any noise. And they take batteries. Takes two AAA batteries, but there was also this little dongle sitting in here too, just in case you want to. It's got an on and off switch right here too. But I don't know. I probably will use these with the batteries, just because this is going to go in the living room. This system, so if you want to call it a system, but it's going to go in the living room, and so I'm not. If it was in the game room, the rotation studios, I probably would go ahead and just use my wireless controllers with it, because obviously it is wireless capable. So put the batteries in there, and we've got the capability of these being wireless with the system. But like I said, it's clicky enough. It'll probably suffice, I'm sure. But they're just very, very generic, very, very light. And look at that. There's more stuff in here. Holy shit. So we've got so what else do we have here? We have it's a USB hub. So there's that. They give you that. They give you a remote control mouse. This is the part of the plug. And this is a switch. And instructions. All right. So that's what's in the box. They certainly give you everything you need. So, I mean, it's probably a little bit more stuff than just simple plug and play, quote unquote. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig up some batteries and I'm going to put them in the controller, both controllers. But again, here it is. So like here's my hand. You can see how big it is. Palm of my hand there. It's, like I said, it's about the size of an Amazon Fire Stick. Vent for cooling. Pass a QC sticker there. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to hook this up in the living room. And I'm going to set the camera up so you can see what it looks like on the screen. We're going to try it out and see how well it works. So let's head on over to the TV. Okay guys, so we're starting it up, we're booting it up. KINHANK Games Retro, running on Emulec. So basically I set it up first. I had to configure the controllers. And I wanted to set this up so that you could see what it looks like on the TV instead of running it through my Elgato. Because what I want to try to do is get the dog off my lap, number one. All right. And basically, I wanted to show you guys what it looks and sounds like on the TV as you would see it. So between the two controllers and the remote control, that was 6 AA batteries. So if you're not a battery person, buying new batteries, you know, rechargeable is the way to go, or you can already use a wireless controller from your Xbox or your PS, whatever number you've got, a Pro controller. Those will work just fine. However, you'll have to configure them. And what's weird is these controllers, the ABXY are not configured properly. Let me see if I can show you real quick. So if we go to controller settings here, and go to configure a controller, so as you can see, D-pad up, fine. D-pad down, fine. D-pad left, right, start, select. Now it says A button is the east button, but these controllers that came with the system, that is actually labeled B. And B button south is actually labeled A. So I'm not quite sure what they're going to expect. If a game requires an A button, is it going to require me to use the east button, so to speak? If it, you know, wants the B or the south, is that actually A or east? You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. So unfortunately, I'm not sure. I'm just going to go ahead and reconfigure this again. I'm going to configure it by the direction that it is trying to show us. So east, south, north, west. And we'll just have to see if that works. So anyway, left, right, left trigger, left thumb, right thumb, and then left up, left down, left, 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 right, up, down, left, right. Now what I'm going to do here is skip that, so it's not defined, and it's going to tell me basically to define it, and I'm going to say yes. Okay, so we're done. So we can go back, and let's go ahead and now we want to see what's all on here, right? So we got Super Nintendo. It's got a nice interface. The Super Graphics, the Vectrex. Virtual Boy, 29 games on that. Wonder Swan, and the Wonder Swan color, the Sharp 68,000, the Sinclair. I might have to actually play the Sinclair. All the games, look at that, 50,030. Favorites, well, they preloaded 160 favorites in there. Amiga, the Commodore Amiga 1200, the Amstrad CPC, some arcade games, 2,533. Atari 2600, Atari 5200, Atari 7800, Atari 800, the Lynx, Atari ST, Atomiswave. I don't think I've seen that on, I don't even have that on my cabinet, I don't think. Commodore 64, Dreamcast. How many Dreamcast games we got? 24. Probably 3 work. We have 215. I'm not sure what that symbol is supposed to be. I've never seen it before in my life. But they've got, looks like MK3 and Rampage and Ninja Turtles. So, I'm not sure. The Famicom Disk System, Game & Watch, Game Gear, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Sega Genesis, and Television, MAME. The Master System, the Genesis, the MSX2, Nintendo 64, Naomi, Nintendo DS, Neo Geo CD, and the Neo Geo, and the Nintendo Hex, Neo Geo Pocket, Pocket Color, Odyssey 2, Open Beats of Rage, TurboGrafx 16, TurboGrafx 60, Pokemon Mini, Ports, PSP, PlayStation, 32X, Sega CD, SG 1000. All right. That's it. Now, let's try to test the limits of this mofo. And we are going to start with Dreamcast. We'll see what's in there. One is typically a tough one to run. Well, I mean, Crazy Taxi right off the bat is usually sometimes tough to run. And the sound is pretty good. It took me a while to get the Wi-Fi connected. Like, it wouldn't connect right away, but it's Wi-Fi's connected. So far, it's running pretty good. It's got the dog's attention, so it sounds pretty good. It's got that nice Dreamcast bezel going on the side. Press A to create a new file. So what is A? So A was A, actually, this time on the controller. So that's a good sign.
Hey, come on over, have some fun with It's party time. Let's have some fun. All right, let's go make some crazy money.
So far that's running pretty good. So yeah, A button is A button. Oh yes, copyright strikes. All right, so it's running pretty good. I'm just testing the limits. I'm not going to stop and pick anybody up. I just want to. Controllers are responsive. There's no lag. It's running full speed. Looks sharp. I'm not on a 4K TV. Unfortunately, the TV in the living room is not 4K, but sounds good. There's no issues at all here. All right. So now I got to figure out how to exit this because, okay, so it was start and select twice at the same time. All right, so what else? This might actually be just fine as far as, all right, Sonic Adventure. I played some Sonic Adventure that has not worked well. So let's give that a shot. Crazy Taxi and Sonic Adventure, if they don't work, they won't work. But so far, Crazy Taxi passed the test. Uh-oh, this screen's up for quite a while. That screen was up longer than I would have thought. Okay, so Sonic Team Presents, that came up just fine. Let's just get right into it. So far, it sounds good.
Select a move. Select a file. Select a character.
Let's get him.
So far, so good. Here comes the real test.
Oh yeah. This is happening.
So the video introduction seems to be running at good speed.
What's up?
It's probably a little louder than I
You are completely surrounded.
would like. Okay. It's taking too long to get to the gameplay, but that intro scene seems to be running just fine. Let's check one more. Virtua Fighter 3 TB, Team Battle. This is another one where I've seen some slowdown on some emulation since I couldn't get to the Sonic gameplay. Okay, well now I can't hear this game. Okay, so for whatever reason, it wasn't letting me select characters. Okay, so the A, B, X, Y are literally the only buttons that are working for this game. And it is running kind of slow. So, that's running really slow. So, unfortunately, Virtua Fighter 3 is not working. Which, you know, it's going to happen. Okay, so Sonic seemed to be like it was going to run just fine. And Crazy Taxi was running just fine, but Virtua Fighter is a no-go. Let us check out the Nintendo 64. All right, so Mario Kart 64. Plus, I don't think I've played a Nintendo 64 game without a Nintendo 64 controller. Okay, so the directional pad, or the analog stick, I should say, and the directional pad, they both work. So far, it sounds fine. So far, everything's working just fine. Let me get to the real test here. It seems to be working. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. There's no lag. Control's good. The other thing I'm noticing so far on the games at work is there's no screen tearing. So now here we go. That's standard emulation with this game. That screen up there at the top was not working. That is to be expected. That has something to do with the chip or the lack thereof. You know, it relays a picture of the race on that screen in the regular game, but emulated, it can't do that. So that's to be expected, but otherwise, you know, it's working pretty good. It's working pretty good. I can't complain. All right, so Mario Kart 64 seems to work just fine. All right, what other game usually has trouble on the Nintendo 64? I have to go through the list to try to recall. Oh yeah, I know which one. If it's even on here. Well, Killer Instinct Gold. Not sure about Gold. We'll find out. I know Killer Instinct usually has a problem. Well, so far it's running at full speed. I mean, I haven't played Killer Instinct in like forever, so I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but the gameplay is fine. The music, no, there was some slowdown there. The music is extremely choppy. Yeah, now there's some slowdown. Okay, so Killer Instinct Gold, not the best. Not the best at all. Let's get out of there. I mean, if you want to turn the music down and you're okay with it skipping frames and running slow, good for you, but does not work. Luigi's Mansion 64. I am scared to click on that because that is not a thing. All right, let's see how Goldeneye runs. I like the bezels. So some games are louder than others, like way louder. All right, so Killer Instinct was deceiving when it started. Let's see if this was deceiving as well. No. 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 This is not good. This is slow. The audio is choppy. Look at that. The audio is choppy. There's some screen tearing at the top. This is unplayable. Goldeneye. No good. And the controls are bad. The controls aren't configured right. Yeah. Goldeneye. No good. No good. Kind of to be expected. So far, you know, so far to be expected. Okay, so let's get out of here. That's all well and good. Let's see. Usually, the PSP. Well, then there's only 22 games too. PSP sometimes has some issues. Let us see which one. No, they don't have anything that looks familiar that typically has issues. Let's play some Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles. I don't think I've ever played this. There's no bezels on this. It's in German. Yeah, let's just start the game. Doesn't matter. This one's pretty loud. Well, that shaky screen doesn't help me determine whether this is playing well or not, but it looks pretty smooth. It looks pretty good. So speaking of smooth, also, yes, this is like their... Okay, so I got to use the D-pad, not the analog. That's my first mistake, I guess. This is the smooth. Everything's on smooth. There are settings in here if you want the more classic 8-bit look on your games. So I don't know, this, I played Dracula X. That seemed a little slow to me, but yeah. Yeah, that's not good. That kind of took a while. It looks good, but and the inputs are there. The inputs are working fine, but music is a little choppy. There's a little choppiness in the music, and I don't know. I've never played this before. I don't know if it's supposed to be this slow. There's no screen tearing. I'd have to say this is playable. Overall, this seems to be playable. I just don't know if it's this slow of a game. Maybe you guys can determine that by watching, or if you know, you can let me know. I'm going to say that's playable. I'm going to say that this is a completely playable game. I'm not going to have any problems controlling it. This is a pretty slow Castlevania game to me, that's all. So anyway. I can't get out of this one. Okay. So, and there's your save states. You press mode. You can get to your save state. Now, oh, maybe I can get to the menu from here. Nope. Okay, so pressing the start and select twice did not get me out of that game, so I had to go to mode. And that's where you would go to save your games, by the way. And then I had to actually manually get out that way. Okay, so it seems as if though the usual suspects don't work. So I'm not going to try anymore. Because, yeah, it seems like games that historically, most of them so far, if they don't work, they usually don't work. Here, okay, we'll try this one. R4, Ridge Racer 4. This one notoriously is also bad with emulation. I would actually be surprised if this one works. Oh, it's going a little slow. I'm skipping the intro. I'm trying to get right to the... I mean, so far, I'm running through the screens just fine. Just trying to get to all the good stuff here, getting into the meat and bones here. Let's go. If I would have watched the intro, that would have been actually a really good indication of whether this game was going to work or not. Wow. This might work. Holy shit. Ridge Racer 4 is working. Yeah. Music is sounding good. I am actually shocked. So I guess, you know what? So some games that typically don't work with emulation very well, I mean, it's a hit and miss with this one. Some work, some don't. Ridge Racer 4. Look at this. It's actually running really good. Am I going to be able to get out of here twice? Yes, okay. All right, Ridge Racer 4 actually did work well. So we all know that a lot of the other stuff's going to work just fine. There's going to be some Sega CDs that probably, oh, there's only 2 games. So they probably know that those for sure work. Let's see what they are. Final Fight and Sonic the Hedgehog, yeah. Well, more than likely, those those are the only 2 that are going to work. We all know everything else should work just fine. Super Graphics has 5 games. What are they? Okay. Virtual Boy, Wonder Swan Color. I don't think I've ever played any Wonder Swan Color anything. Well, yeah. You know what? I'm sure everything else works just fine. But let's see what they got under favorite. Oh, you know what? We should probably check an arcade game, right? Let's see. So hitting down get you. Oh, and you can actually cycle through those while in a list by pressing left and right. So yeah, it takes me back to the Amstrad, and this will take me to the Atari 2600. Okay. All right, so that's good to know. I don't know. So Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is a good game, and sometimes that has trouble with emulation. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different versions. I'm not entirely sure which one would be good to run. So we'll take the one that says Bootleg 4 because that's got a higher number on it. Yeah, but Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is hit and miss. Yeah, see? Okay, so there's an error there. It's probably going to boot me back out. Let's try this Turbo Bootleg set. Well, you know what? I don't want to try it. All right. Carnival, my lord. So, like, I don't see any... Get back out of here. Okay, so I went into this P, and this seems to be a little bit more like 80s to recent. I don't know. Now there's a Cadillacs and Dinosaurs in here, and it's saved to favorites and it's got information, so this one might actually work. This might be the arcade spot to go. So coin is supposed to be the select, and it is. And then start. So far it sounds good. So far it looks good. I love this game. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's running great. Oh, I like the custom bezel for Cadillacs and Dinosaurs too. Yeah. Yeah, it's working. It's running. It's looking good. All right. So anyway, yeah, I think I can probably at this point give you my thoughts on this Super Console X stick. I like it. I like it a lot. I might want to just put this in on the bedroom TV instead. To be brutally honest with you, you know what? There's, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I can't complain. There's some usual culprits that don't run, and that's fine. It's to be expected. But then there's some that are usual culprits that work just fine, and this is one of them, for example. Like I said, this is the 256 gig. You can get one that's half that with less of a selection. You probably won't need over 50,000 games that this one has. When I bought this, there was a back order, but it still came, despite the back order, it came rather quickly. I did buy it off of Amazon. It ran about $144, I believe. I will leave the link down below. So, yeah, I would suggest that if you don't have anything like this and you want a simple plug and play, of course, by simple I mean like you plug it in and you turn your TV on. It's there. You do have to configure your controllers and make sure the remote works. And don't forget you have to also, if you want to keep it updated, connect to your Wi-Fi. But yeah, you got your save states on here. Everything seems to be working better than I expected. It looks good. Some games sound better than others, but you know, that's what your TV remote control is for. And this is a constant onslaught here of bad guys. There we go. But yeah, I highly suggest you pick this up if you can. It is a decent buy. I am happy with it. I won't be adding more games to mine. More than enough games on this thing. Super Console X Stick. Link down below. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Subscribe if you're new here. Share with your friends. And leave a comment. Do you already have something like this? You know, do you have this particular Super Console X stick? Have you been thinking about it? Have I convinced you to buy it? That's going to do it for today, guys. I'm going to finish this game. See you guys later.